So, all of you know, welcome to Lashes Take. I look like Anthony Hopkins in Legends of the Fall, like a wild woman in the morning. Um, I've been talking a lot about the Charlie Kirk assassination, and I found this podcast, which I'm surprised I had never heard of this podcast before. And I want you to listen to, it's called Mic Drop. And it's about the Charlie Kirk assassination, and see for yourselves, honestly. Okay, here we go.
Charlie Kirk, you've been fairly vocal on YouTube and a number of kind of responses to different tidbits of the investigation and kind of picking apart some of the, from a shooter standpoint and an investigation standpoint. I guess just broadly speaking, what is your take on that across the board, really? I mean, from the narrative that's being fed from the FBI to the public to, the concreting over the shooting site not long afterwards and the videos that we've seen, and just from a sniper's perspective, kind of what is your take overall of the entire thing?
A lot of it stinks.
So this guy's a sniper, okay? And this podcast is called Mic Drop.
From a position of
and I'm tired of just going off of Candace Owens.
But overall, the entire thing doesn't technically meet any of my evaluations of what an organized hit would look like, pinning it on one man who grew up hunting a little bit, who had little to no exposure to guns, and grew up in a conservative home. It just doesn't make any sense. And there's many components to that, but for him, like, everybody's like, it's an easy shot. Got it. Yeah, shooting a watermelon off of a fence post is an easy shot. Shooting a man under a tent in front of thousands of people, knowing that you could get shot and killed yourself, compromised, even for trained operators, is a lot of pressure. Not that we couldn't work through that pressure, because we do that, but for a civilian with no understanding of stress inoculation, of training methodology, planning sequences to be able to execute that alone, seems off to me.
Is there, to play devil's advocate, because that's my jam, is there any element of young, naive, almost too dumb? I mean, it's kind of like going through buds at 18. It's like you're almost kind of too dumb to even understand what you've gotten yourself into. Do you think that there's any element of that that's even possible, that like it just didn't even register that what he was doing was so profoundly significant historically and evil and what have you, that it was just not impulsive, because obviously there's a level of planning that needs to take place, but just from a mindset standpoint, that could possibly be a factor?
Yeah, for sure, but even in the analogy you used, in buds, you don't have to be super technical. You just need to survive, right? You need to get through it. When you look at this situation, even breaking it down into an op, and just cut out planning, just do infill, actions on, and exfil. To flawlessly infill, flawlessly execute, and flawlessly exfil without compromise.
Infill, exfil. I remember that from Argo.
It happened, allegedly. And then to throw it and piss it all away by throwing the rifle in the woods seems like a contradiction, an oxymoron. Like, why would you go through all the work of
okay, so he's sort of
perfectly infilling actions on,
laying out his thoughts.
To chuck a rifle to be seen off the side of the road?
Okay, so obviously, here, I'll stand behind my Christmas tree. So obviously he's, oh gosh, I should put some lighting on, a retouch, there we go. So he's obviously stating his thoughts, but I just wanted to move forward a little bit on this video and this podcast is called, it's called Mike Glover. Sorry, let's just go here, there. Here, there. Mike Glover, the FBI is lying about the Charlie Kirk assassination. This was 3 days ago during all of the Candace Owens, Tucker Carlson, Ben Shapiro, blah, 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 blah. This guy is a professional sniper. And I was going through YouTube to find some other information that could plausibly back up what Candace is saying. And when she said the FBI is involved, I'll tell you that much. Candace Owens also said that she spoke to somebody that knew that the FBI, nobody could touch it. He says the same thing. He says the same thing. Okay? So I'm just going to put this down here and listen to what this man is saying. I'm going to take a picture because what you hear from him is the most important thing. 100%. And I don't want to interrupt. Okay, so there. All right. Yeah, listen to this man. Remember, he's a professional sniper. And it's a different perspective than Candace Owens.
Now, do I think he's a psychopath? For sure. It typically takes that kind of personality to.
He's talking about Tyler Robinson.
You either have to be a trained operator or a psychopath.
Or both.
Or both.
It's a blurry line there.
But he also does back up what Candace Owens says.
But I also think for people to operate like that in their own little world without help, and you could take the Trump assassination, attempted Trump's assassination as well as an example, would be super unlikely. I mean, the biggest controversy is obviously the JFK assassination. To think that Oswald alone was a lone gunman with no help and coordination after he travels to Russia, like, what? Like, so I'm afraid the further away we get from it, every day that we get away from it, the more it becomes a conspiracy and the less it becomes confirmable. And I just think it's ass backwards. I think the entire thing stinks. And I could say this: the day after, I talked to a high-level CIA.
Now, Candace Owens did
official.
say this.
Very high. And he told me, I don't even know if I should say this.
I think you should absolutely say it.
He told me that the FBI is not cooperating with him. And he is trying to corroborate potential foreign influence and was getting blocked out of every opportunity to confirm or deny that. And it was written off as no foreign influence less than 48 hours in. And this guy has access to the President of the United States.
So she's not crazy.
For that to be said from the guy and asking me if I had anybody that I knew on the inside to be able to get information because he wasn't allowed to access it, I'm like, why are you calling me? Tells me everything that I need to know.
Well, so to me, here's where I don't understand that is that you have, Trump's hand-picked guy running the FBI, right? And so if this guy has access to Trump also, isn't that at odds? Like, why would the FBI being, headed by Trump's hand-picked guy not be cooperating with somebody who also has access to Trump? Like, where is the conflict?
That's the first question I asked, and what I got was
Gotta be fine. Says the guy.
Oh, yeah.
Says the guy on the other side of the fucking interview.
What I was told was the guy's already bought. And
Which guy's already bought?
the FBI.
By somebody outside of the president?
Don't know who that is, but basically he's already been so heavily influenced by outsiders that it's a very good question that you would have a hand-picked cabinet member from the DOJ, the head of the FBI, and then a hand-picked cabinet member for an intelligence organization not being able to interoperate together. Why would you block them out?
That's
Well,
what Candace
one, if you're
Owens
trying to
said.
compete with them,
She's
and
not
you want to be
crazy. This is mic
the
drop.
person
I just
that
found
was
this.
positioning your organization
He's a sniper.
to be above the rest.
He looks like a
Why would we
sniper.
need the CIA? Because the FBI runs the show. This is a domestic terrorist threat. But have you confirmed or denied that there's any foreign influence? Yeah, we did that. How can you do that in 48 hours? You can't do that is the answer in 48 hours. So it's either external influence or a combination of that and protecting your organization because you are the show. And on game day,
I knew
as it
it.
was advertised, again in post press conferences, they did everything right. Or did they? I mean, I don't know the answer to that, but what I do know is when
I knew it.
the
I
CIA
knew
is
it. I
getting
knew
blocked
it.
out of even investigating foreign influence days after it happened without a proper investigation or without even cooperation.
Sorry for interrupting. When I interrupt this video with my take on it, I will let you know. So what he's saying is that the CIA and the FBI are not cooperating, and this is Mike Glover, and the title is "The FBI is Lying About the Charlie Kirk Assassination," and this guy is a sniper. And I've been saying from the very beginning, before when I saw it happen live, I thought it was DJ or DT, and he trumped Charlie. And this sniper confirms so much of what people are laughing about with Candace asking questions. It cracks me up. People say, why do you cover Candace? Are you kidding me? Really?
With a proper investigation. That is a massive problem.
Agreed, and I guess, you know, if I'm in your shoes and I'm speaking with this higher up CIA guy that's telling me this, but who also has access to the president, the way my mind immediately, or where my mind immediately goes, is why wouldn't you tell the president then that that's taking place? And maybe he has, but if he has,
It's too bad that people will only get their information from podcasts that are really slick and perfect. What I'm trying to do is kind of research my own theory, wherein I really believe that Donald Trump hired a sniper to do his dirty work. And there's lots of reasons why, and I have videos on it. But this Mike Glover and Mic Drop really does confirm a lot of the things that Candace Owens was saying, and really makes me question Erica Kirk further and further. And when you're in the public eye, you have a right to question, but listen to the sniper and his interview, and I'll shut up.
and the president isn't either A, doing something about it, or making coordination happen, to me you can deductively reason then that would imply that the president has a part in it too, no? I mean, or am I missing something?
Well, I think what I've gotten so far, and this has been a culmination of Tulsi Gabbard and many other people,
I really do
including
believe
Sarah Adams,
that
and
it was
Khalid,
Trump.
um,
And
these intel
unless
experts
that's ever proved
that
otherwise, I
focus
will
on
always believe
understanding
that.
what's going to happen in like 9/11 2.0, right? I do a show every Wednesday, a live show with Survival Dispatch, and we talk about the prospect of there being a 2.0. There is all the indications, foreign terrorist organization, intel-wise, that it is going to happen. So if that's the case, then why aren't we taking it serious? Well, a lot of the people after this young National Guard's woman was killed at the age of 20 on Thanksgiving, she passed away. How much coverage was there over that? Zero.
Nothing.
Nationally, zero. She was killed by an alleged jihadist, and there was zero coverage on it? Why would we not be doing that? Well, one, you could advocate that they're protecting the perception because they don't want the American people to panic. But we know from history what actually happens. Or two, they're just complicit in it. And they know it's going to happen, and they don't want to say anything because they don't want the fallout. I think we're closer to that than we've ever been, because radical jihadists have not gone away. They've only organized, planned, and prepared more and more. And maybe that's the issue. I think profoundly that's probably a variable of issues that the reason why we're not addressing it.
But I guess more specifically on your CIA contact, the FBI, and the president, I guess if you can help me understand.
I think they tried. I think he tried.
Well, so again,
Nobody's listening.
well, I mean, but doesn't that tell you quite a bit?
It tells me a lot.
You know, it's like, so then wouldn't the president either know something or have some involvement? Again, just deductive reasoning. It's like, if you tell somebody there's a problem and nothing
You're
changes,
welcome, John.
why would nothing change?
Let me expand on this.
I appreciate
little
that.
bit. That person sent
I found it.
several
Just one
employees
second. I'm going to put it on
that
pause for a
job
minute,
it is
okay?
to analyze, assess, and investigate that information which they have
Oh,
access
sorry,
to.
John. You're very welcome. I'm a YouTube junkie, and I started this YouTube channel for reasons totally different than what I'm doing now. However, Charlie Kirk's assassination really opened me up to a lot of things that I never thought that I would even think about. No, I'm not familiar with them either. And I was listening to Candace Owens, and I really did think that the government was behind it because Trump wouldn't let anybody interfere with his dynasty, and Charlie Kirk was going to be around for a lot of years. You know? Anyways, I'll get back to this. Here. And it's called Mic Drop. Mic Drop. Okay? That's what this podcast is called.
They sent them from D.C. to Provo, Orem, Utah, 30 minutes down the canyon from my house.
I'm good
And
at
all of them
finding
were
talent,
denied
John.
access and told to turn around and get back on the plane.
And
fly
truth.
away. So it wasn't just words and blockading or ignoring phone calls. It was a deliberate and intentional turnaround, which is one of the main reasons when I talk about it on Survival Dispatch, I think it is a massive issue that is nearly like the Epstein issue, where
What?
there's so much convolution and corruption involved in all of the information that if ever released would cause all this controversy, which is why the full GFK picture has not been presented as promised. The full.
Okay, everybody. So I want to finish watching this, and because it's on my television, I always have to remember to like and subscribe. But I've already subscribed to him on my phone, and don't forget to hit like if you've liked anything. But if you haven't heard of this channel before, I'm really good at finding really good channels. Mike Glover, the FBI is lying about the Charlie Kirk assassination. This was 3 days ago during the TPUSA thing. And yeah, and it's called Mic Drop, okay? And the other thing I also wanted to say is, why did Erica Kirk allow Ben Shapiro to talk on stage? It was her call. So why did she allow that? I find that to be very, very freaking weird. Okay? And I was watching YouTube on my TV today, and this girl was imitating Erica Kirk, and oh, I wish I had recorded it. It was just hilarious. Thank you, John. Thank you for joining in. But yeah, and also, but I have a couple of questions for Candace Owens. Like, when was the last time? Why wasn't she invited to Charlie Kirk's wedding? I think there's been bad blood between Erica and Candace for a long time. And you know what kills me? I don't usually talk about these things, but everybody is doing the exact opposite of what Charlie Kirk cared about. And why is it that he was straying away from Israeli donors, not because of prejudice, but because of the genocide that took place on October the 7th, which Candace Owens pointed out as genocide when it happened, and now everybody agrees that it's genocide, and that was over a year ago. You know, people can say what they want about Candace Owens, love her or like her. She's entertaining. You know, I really don't like Megyn Kelly. No. I don't know Megyn Kelly. I just think Megyn Kelly is really, really slick. Like, she was in mainstream media news for years. She, you know, Fox News, and she's got her own YouTube channel. And, you know, and she's worked damn hard her whole life, and good for her. But boy, is she easy to judge. And when she does those little Meghan Markle, when she makes fun of Meghan Markle, and she did that thing with Love Meghan, but with Meghan and Maureen, I thought that was so catty, because you know what? It takes one to know one. Anyways, check out that channel. There's a lot of good information, but I really want to know, why was Candace Owens not invited to Charlie Kirk's wedding? And oh yeah, the pro-Israel thing. So Charlie Kirk was flipping on that, and now that the wife has taken over, you know, it's a totally different thing. Did you put up the thing for the karaoke Fridays? Hey everybody, this is Trevor. So that's what I wanted to say about Charlie Kirk. That's the channel right there. And it's called Mic Drop. Mike Glover, the FBI is lying about the Charlie Kirk assassination. Check out the video from the beginning. And I will talk to you all soon. And this will be part of the Christmas countdown. And the Christmas countdown, there's a playlist, and it says December 1st to January 1st, Christmas countdown. And then on January 6th, Trevor and I are giving out a $50 gift certificate for the winner. And we're just going to ask some little questions like, what's Lasha's theory on Charlie Kirk? How interested is Trevor in this subject? You know, little things like that. So, and we put everybody's name in a hat. So if you want to play, just put your name on the community page in comments, or whatever you want to be called out as, okay? Trevor, before we end, watch the vid. I will. Okay, I'll see y'all later. Bye.